the good qualities of a mentor that he should have before he gets into this mentoring is after their first interaction with the mentee, you should assimilate enough domain knowledge. You should be dispassionate about it, not evaluate if the business is right or wrong. Leave it for the mentee to decide. Be a good listener. Let the mentee tell you what he or she is doing, wanting to do. Please take no decisions for them. Help them decide. Never take a decision and tell them this is what you should be doing. Tell them what all you could be doing, evaluate each option, tell them how to evaluate a decision and not get into any decision making. It has to be a time commitment. Become a mentor and not give enough time to mentee is criminal, I guess. So give time to the mentee whenever the mentee has its conveniences, though it has to be mutually convenient. You should be willing to say no, because there can be some spheres of business which you are not comfortable with, or they are not onto your skill set. So you should be able to tell the mentee that not this, not that. I can do this, or I can put you onto somebody who knows this, who can help you on this. After all, none of us are know-alls. We have to do our follow-ups, set timelines on the revert of the mentees, or whatever work has been given, talked about, this is what should be the deliverable. We have to follow them up, because once they get back into business, they sometimes forget what they should be doing and the whole thing lags on. So we have to keep pursuing them, following them up, setting deadlines for whatever has been talked about, achievable, if achieved, how achieved, if not achieved, what needs to be done to achieve that. We need to be practical, not theoretical. That is why mentors from practical background or practitioners background or with a business experience can, I think, empathize more with the business of the mentee and help them better. Good listening, good talking, ensure it is written is important always for the mentee-mentor relationship. So mentor has to be a bouquet of all this. He is not a consultant. He is not telling them how to do, what to do. It's not necessarily an elderly advice that you give. It is something that you walk along and tell the mentee as to how he or she should be deciding whatever options are there in various business decisions, I think. Sometimes mentees have the business plan only in their mind. They haven't put it down on paper, because I believe in that if you can do it on paper, you can do it on practical. And even if you can't do it on practical, at least you know as to what happened between what you thought and what is happening. So the course correction is easy. So having a business plan is important from the mentee's perspective. And for assimilating the business plan and evaluating the business plan, some little time has to be spent by the mentor in that particular domain of business, because we are not aware of all businesses or all domains. Spend that time, get the business plan, ensure that the mentee also has enough depth knowledge of the domain, because sometimes the mentees only have a passion about that particular thought. They think this is possible, they think there's a gap, there's an opportunity here, but have not spent enough time in going to the depth of that particular domain, seeing how it can happen, a little beta plan, trying it out. Sometimes they don't do it, they just work on their passions and go forward and do it. So this is important. If the mentee has a past, then please try and see the past. It be a financial record or achievements or whatever kind of thing. You have to assimilate the past, understand what the past is. Even a mentee with a past should have a future projected, next 3 years future projected, on what assumptions, each assumption can be discussed and derived at. But a past and a future of mentee, if new mentee is there, new business is there, then just 3 years business plan is important to assimilate how this would happen. The assumptions become clear, and evaluating that business plan now or later is better for the mentee.
Neeta Adappa, the founder of Prakriti Herbals. Well, I was very lucky to get mentoring under the Dream to Destination program from Mr. Vijay Ladha. And the things that I selected, or I would suggest you would select when you select a business mentor, you would look for is primarily somebody who understands you, somebody who respects you, and somebody who makes you think. A mentor need not be somebody who gives you ready-made solutions, who does hand-holding, because that does not work. Personally, for me as a person, it's always been when I have thought about it, when I have been made to think about something and think over the problem in my own mind and get the solution on my own, is when it has worked on a long-term basis. I would also say a business mentor should, you could say they would be like a lighthouse in stormy waters. So if you compare it to being in business trouble. So like a lighthouse, It shows you what it does. It shows you where you are. It shows you the rocks around you. It shows you the challenges you are going to face. It also shows you the shore across where you can reach out safely and the direction in which you have to move to reach it. But the lighthouse does not come to the ship. It does not do any hand holding. It does not do it for the ship. The ship or the mentee has to do it for themselves. They have to, understand for themselves what is the right path to take the guidance from the lighthouse and reach the shore safely. I think that is the kind of a role a business mentor has played in my life too, because my mentor has made me introspect, think, come up with solutions for my problems, for my business problems on my own, and implement them in such a way that it stays with me long term. It's also very important that the business mentor understands where you're coming from. What are your values? What do you want to bring to your business? What are your aspirations? What are your ambitions? There might be somebody who's happy with a small scale business. There's somebody who would really want to expand. And then the goals are different, and then the paths are different that they need to take. So a mentor should be able to understand where you're coming from. And also there should be mutual respect between the mentor and the mentee. Just like we respect the mentor for the guidance and the introspection and the values and the kind of help that we get from the mentor, it's also necessary for the mentor to respect the mentee for the journey that they have traveled so far, because each one of us in our own right have done something to reach where we are. And it is very important that they acknowledge where we are, show us our mistakes, and help us along to reach much, much greater heights. I think that could be a mutual respect and admiration. Mentor-mentee relationship could really, really take your business to great levels.